Good morning. Today we are going to start with lesson 2, which is talking about frequency and histograms. Now, in the lesson 1, we talked about the matrices, and we said that the matrix is a way to organize the data. Today now we are going to learn about frequency tables and histogram, which is another way to represent the data. So to represent the data, we can represent it by matrices, by histogram, and by frequency tables. Now, so there are many ways to organize and display the data. Sometimes you can use them by matrices, sometimes by interval. For this interval here, you have to use the interval is in the frequency table or in histogram. So the frequency of an interval is the number of data values in the interval. A frequency table groups a set of data values into intervals and show the frequency for each interval. So this is here, like if you have here, I will give you now an example. Just one second. Like let's make a table now. Like now let's make, I will ask you a questions. Now imagine now we are born from talking about the intervals of month. That's you are born, your birthday isn't. So 1 to 4, 5 up to 8, and 9 to 12. Now, just I want you now so here we have the interval. Frequency. Okay, now I want you now to ask you about your birthday date. Okay, who was born in June? In June, January, February, March, April. Please, the ones who are born from
January.
wait a minute, from first month up to fourth month, which are January, February, March, April, raise your hand now. Please, quickly. Okay, so Dana, now your birthday date, is it in January, February, March, April? If yes, raise your hand. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 girls, they are born in from January up to April. Now, May, June, July, August. Raise your hand. Please, the other, now lower your hand. Are you okay? Thank you so much. So we have only Basmala and Sarah.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Ranim,
Yes, miss.
when did you born? When your birthday date?
My birthday?
Oh, in which month?
17/7. Why?
Oh, yeah, we are here. Okay, because we make a data here. So I asked the girls here in which month that you are born. So I will add you here to July. Okay. Now, September, October, November, and December. Raise your hand. Basma and Farah only. Now, Hala.
Miss Judy also. October.
Where's Judy?
Miss, she came with her mom's name.
Yes,
She entered Judy.
yes, it's here, yeah.
Oh.
Judy, Masa, Linda.
Miss Masa.
Masa is in January.
Yes.
I am in January, miss, too.
Did you raise your hand, January? Masa, sorry. It's okay, خلاص. Wait just a second. Basma, Masa, and Farah. Masa in which month?
Miss Masa
January,
in January.
miss.
January. Oh, okay. وفرح?
September, miss.
وبسمة?
I'm October, teacher.
October. So here we have 2, and here we have at we have 6 girls here. Linda is in August. Okay, so we are here at so this is table here. We called it frequency table. Why we called frequency table? Because here we have a table and we have an interval like from first month up to 4, from May up to August, from September up to December. Here now I asked how many girls are born. So the frequency of frequency, it's mean how many girls are born from 1 to 4 from the first up to the 4th month. And how many we have? They are 6. And 4 girls are born from May to August, and 2 girls born from September to December. This table here, we call it frequency table. Now, the intervals in the frequency, these are the intervals, 1 to 4, 5 to 8, and 9 to 12, we call them intervals. The intervals here do not overlap. And when I write them, I will tell you later on how to make the intervals, but they will not overlap. I will not write from 1 to 4, then from 3 to 8. And they are not have a gaps, and they are have usually equal size. So they must have equal size, and later on I will tell you about this. They mustn't overlap and have any gaps. Now, this is later on I will tell you about it, but just here this an example how to make the frequency table. You have to put an interval as I make now, and you have to ask the questions to your friends to tell you in which month you are born. Now, the second question here.
Gold coins and jade carvings.
How many numbers between 0 and 10? Who can tell me?
9
How many
numbers.
numbers between 0 and 10?
9.
Between 0 and 10 are 9. Okay.
10, 10, miss, 10.
Each weighing
10. Other answers? They are 11 numbers. How? In your fingers now. Count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So how many? Sorry, 9, 10. So how many numbers we have? We have 11 numbers.
11.
Look at them here. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Count them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 numbers. So how many numbers between 4 and 7?
4.
4, exactly. 4, 5, 6, and 7. We have 4 numbers. What is the formula? Shall I count by my fingers? No. Every time, if I ask you how many numbers between 0 and 10, remember this formula here. You will need it later on. Subtract the maximum number minus the minimum number. Okay, this formula here, plus 1.
Yes.
This is the formula. The maximum is 10 minus the minimum is 0. So 10 plus 1 is 11. 7 minus 4 is 3. Plus 1, 4. That's why we have 4 numbers between 4 and 7. Now, let's start now to see here how can we make a frequency table. Now, the numbers of home runs by the butters in a local home run thereby are listed below. We have here the number of home runs: 7, 17, 14, 2, 7, 9, 5, 12, 3, 10, 4, 12, 7, and 15. They collect the data. They see how many number of home runs for each girl, each boy, or each time, and so on. And they asked a few of people. As an example, here we have Farah. She asked her, she makes 7 runs. Huda makes 17. Jana makes 14. Sarah makes 2, and so on. We have this data. I want now to reorganize or represent this data. The best way here to organize or to represent the data is to use the frequency table. How we can make the frequency table? As I told you, you have to make 2 columns, one for the intervals and the other one for the frequency. So here, let's make a table first. And this table for interval and for frequency. This is the first step. Now, I want now to write the interval. The interval, as I told you, they must have the equal size, no gaps, and overlapping. They don't have an overlap. So to write an interval, the first step, look at the minimum number. Where is the minimum number here? So is it, I think 2, is it right? The minimum number is 2.
Yes.
So yes, teacher.
I have it 2. And what is the greater number?
17.
17.
No, 15. I'm better, 17.
17. Oh, 17, yes.
Okay.
Then.
Teacher, there's no 17.
No,
Oh, yes.
Here. This is 17 here. Then, here now, from 2 to 17. So how many numbers are between 2 to 17?
16.
Exactly. Remember the formula that I gave it to you. Maximum minus minimum plus 1. So you have to say 17 minus 2 plus 1, which is 16. So we have 16 numbers. And this 16 is not the numbers for this data. No, that's mean after we get this, the minimum and the maximum value, we subtract them, we get 16. So that's mean we have 16 numbers between 2 and 17. Then And now find the number that you can divide 16 on it. That's divisible by 16. Give me any number.
2.
We can divide it by 2. You can divide it by 4. If you divide it by 2, that means you have to put 8 intervals. And if you divide it by 4, we have to put 4 intervals. Let's take the easier one. Let's divide it by 4. And I will tell you now which intervals did I mean. So let's divide it now by 4. So we say that 16 now over 4. And the answer is 4. So what does it mean? That means we have here 4 intervals. Okay, this is the first, second, third, and 4. So we have here 4 intervals, 4 rows. I want now to write the interval. To write the interval, the distance, the length of each interval is 4. So you have to start from 2, which is the first number, and end with 17. Or sometimes you can end with 18 if you need. So you start from 2 and you end with 17. Now, I want now to make how to write the interval. Did you remember now the number line? We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. They have the same length. So that's mean, and the length of them is 4. So now, in your fingers, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what is that I need now here? Sorry, not here. 2. You have to choose 2. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have to find the first 4 numbers starting from 2. So we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have to say from 2 to 5. I want the length as 4. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. In your fingers, count them. They are 4. Then you finished 4. Now let's go to the number that's after 4, which is after 5, which is 6. So from here now, count 4 numbers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I started from 6 up to 9. Then I need another 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's change the number here, the color, sorry, in order to see clearly. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have from 10 up to 13. And then take the rest numbers, which we have 14, 15, 17. So from 14 up to 17. So I wrote now the intervals. Each interval has a length of 4. Is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes,
Okay.
miss. Yes,
So if we see like Farah told us, let's divide it by 8. 16 over 8, that's mean I have to make 2. I can make it 2 columns with either interval of each of them, the length of each interval is 8, or I can make them with 8 rows, sorry, 8 not columns, 8 rows, and each interval has a length of 2. And I can make it here as 4 by 4. You can make it as you want. But when you increase the number of rows, you make it more accurate. After now, so we see that we have 4 intervals and the length of each interval is 4. Did you understand now up to now? Is it clear?
Yes. Yes.
Later on, when you have more examples, inshallah you'll understand.
And the treasure box is worth.
Then the second step. from 2 to 15. Now I want you to look at the data here. That's you have from the question. And all of these things, I didn't use the data. I just used the minimum and the maximum number and make my table. Now I want to count. Now I want you, now as I asked you, how many girls are born from January up to April? So I asked you, I collect the data. Here now I want you to do the same. I want you now to find how many. 1 is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah.
Yes, teacher, all of them are 2, 3, 4, and 5.
From here, how many one we have are two, how many 1, 2, we have 2, 2, and 3, 4, 5.
Yes, miss, they are
So
4.
we have 4. So the frequency, oh yeah, that's mean that from interval 2 to 5, we have 4 frequent data. Now, from 6 to 9, I want to rewrite the numbers here. 7, 17,
1 only, miss.
14, 2, 7, 9, 5, 12, 3, 10, 4, 12, 7, and 15.
Yes, miss, from 6 to 9, only 1.
So then now here, I have to count, as I told you, from 2 to 5. So we have to say, this is 1, 2, 3, and 5. So we have 4. Now from 6 to 9, do we have 6?
1 only, teacher.
No, miss.
No.
7.
We only have 9.
Not 6 and 9, miss. Not 6 and 9. From 6 to 9. As I told you before, I told you now from April to January to April, not only January and April. 2, it's mean January, February, March, and April. Now, if I told you your exam or your covered material from page 2 to page 15, what does it mean? That means you have to study 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 15. Here you have the same. From 6 to 9, that means 6, 7, 8 to 9. Where's 6?
We don't have.
We don't have. 7.
We have 2, 7.
We have only 7 and 9.
2 and 3. So we have 3. How many 8?
9.
No,
No, we don't have.
No,
We
9.
don't have. We have 1.
We have. So we have now 4. Now, from 10 to 13. Do you have 10?
Yes.
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 11.
No.
No.
12.
Yes,
2,
2.
12.
Yes.
2 we have.
Yes. 13.
No.
No.
No. So we have 3 numbers. Now, from 14
Teacher,
to
we will
16.
write.
3.
Yes, it means we will write the number that is repeated, like, and it's same. I will not consider like third and write 1. Like here,
No.
12 and 12. I will make 12
I
and 12. They are. Oh
yes,
yes.
they are 2.
Okay.
And I will not say that, as an example, Farah and Jude are born in June. I will not say that only 1 girl are born in June. No, they are 2. So I'll take as 2.
Okay.
Okay. Now from 14 to 17.
We have 2, 17 and 15.
Here we have. Did we have 14? Yes.
Yes.
17, 15,
Oh, yeah, and
and 17. So we have 3. Now be careful, guys. You check all the numbers. And don't forget any number. And be careful that if you add 4 plus 4, 8. Here, I'm talking here. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 3 and 3, 14. If you count the data here, they are 14. So that's correct. So if you, after you finish, check. Add 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3. If they are 14, so that's mean my solution is correct. If I have it as 13, that's mean you forget a number. Is it clear?
Means teacher, I'll count 4 plus 4, 3 plus 3.
Yes, count, yeah.
And they
Add
will
these
equal 5.
numbers here. Add them. Check if they are 14 or no. If they are 14, why 14? Because if you count the numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 numbers. And when I add the number of frequency, I found they are 14. So this is correct. Like today, no, we asked you, I have 12 girls. Now, I know that some of you didn't answer, but that's mean we have 12 girls in the class. So the one who answered is 12. And when I add when I find the summation of the frequency that for who are born, they found that they are 12. So that's mean I didn't forget anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, let's now have another example. For this example here, you have to make a frequency table for the same numbers, but use intervals of 5.
Miss teacher, 5 rows, or we will count 5 numbers, like from 2 to 6, 6 to 10.
Yeah, miss.
No, here it means that we need the length of the interval is 5. That use intervals of 5. And that's mean here, just 1 second. That's mean here, in the first one, we make the length of interval is 4, which we divide it to 16 by 4. We get the answer as 4.
Yes.
Here, we divide 16 over 4 and get the answer as 4. So this 4 means that I want the length of the intervals 4. Now, in this question here, they asked you to write the intervals of them as 5. So, what does it mean? That means, let's clear the numbers here. And let's do as the book asked us. Now,
Sure, now we can use any number, or we have to use the new numbers?
now the same numbers, because I told you find the what is the frequency table for the data and problem 1.
Oh, okay.
I have to use the data and problem 1. Okay. Now, as intervals of 5. So what does it mean? That means you have to start from 2 and count in your fingers now 5. Yani 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
5, 6.
So that's mean why I will repeat. The intervals is 5. The length of interval is 5. So here I need the length of them is 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you have to say from 2 to 6. Then now you end at 6. Now take the next number. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So from 7 to 11. Then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 12 to 16. And then 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
17 from 21.
Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Teacher, can you make it again? I didn't understand how you make this number in the interval.
Okay. Here you start now, which we found before that the minimum number is 2.
Yes.
So we have to start from number 2. Then they use interval here. I ask you to use the intervals of 5. So that's mean find the first 5 numbers starting from 2. Yalla, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I want to give me, I will repeat it here. I told you that I want 5 numbers only. So I put like this, 5 numbers. Then start. I want to start from 2. So I will say 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what is this, the minimum number? When you write the interval, write the minimum, then maximum. So the minimum number here is 2, and the maximum number is 6. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
And you want now to continue. Keep that you have 5 numbers. Start now from 7. 7. So here you have to occupy 5 blanks. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So from 7 to 11. And then 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So from 12 to 16. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
And if I ask you now, what is the length of interval? As an example, I give you this table. And I ask you, what is the length of interval? Remember, subtract the maximum number minus the minimum number plus 1. 11 minus 7 is 4 plus 1, 5. So that's mean here, the length of interval is 5. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Now let's continue. And after we have the intervals, now let's come back to my data. Now, the interval here is from 2 to 6. So you have to count how many runs between 2 and 6. And I mean 2 with 3, 4, 5, or 6. Yalla. How many 2 we have? We have 3, we have 4, we have 5. Do you have 6?
No.
No. So we have 4 numbers. Now, from 7 to 11. How many?
4.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
4.
We have, wait a minute, 7, 8, 9,
Missed 4.
It's 5.
10, 11. 7, 7, 7. We have 9 too. So there are 5.
Yes. 5.
Now, from 12 to 16. 12, 12, 13. Do you have 13 here? No. 14. Yes. 15. Yes. 16. No. So we have 4 numbers. Now, from 17 up to 21.
We have only 1.
Only
Only.
1 7.
Bravo. Now let's add the numbers. 4 plus 5, 9 plus 4, 13 plus 1, 14.
14.
So this is correct. We have 14 numbers of data. Now, here in the first question, in problem 1, you decide how many intervals you want. I want 4. To decide how many intervals you want, you have to say that I have to subtract the minimum number minus the maximum number, and then divide them by any number you want to write the interval. In this question here, no. Here they ask you that I want the length of each interval 5. That's why we didn't end with 17. We end with 21. Because he asked me, please make the length of interval 5. So when I start counting by 5, I stop at 21. In the previous one, when we wrote the table,
We stopped at number 17, the maximum
yes,
number.
we wrote them as 2 to 5, 6 to 9, 11 to 13, and 14 to 17. So in the previous one here, we stopped, we start from, and the intervals like this one. So we start from 2, we end at 17 because I don't know how many intervals. I want to put a number of intervals. So I just ask myself, if I have 2, the minimum, the maximum is 17. Let's subtract 17 minus 2, which we have it as, let's find how many numbers there are, 16. Divide them by, I want number 4. Okay, divide them by 4, then write them as a 4 intervals. In this question, no, they help me that use the length of interval as 5. Then you write your table. Now look at the numbers here in the frequency, how they are different. 4, 4, 4, 5, 3, 4, 3, 1. They are not the same because the intervals here are not the same. Is it clear?
How to share the
Yes,
intervals
I have a
are
question.
the same. They are the
Yes,
same, miss.
No, 2 to 6, not like 2 to 5. And 7 to 11, not like 6 to 9.
Oh, I thought the different length.
Yes, Yara, what's your question?
Teacher, if the numbers that like 12 to 16, it's not there. We write 0. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yes, thank you. And as an example, like Yara said, if you have from 12 to 16 and you look at the date and there's no number between 12 to 16, write 0. Is it clear? I know that is a new idea for you. Inshallah, on Sunday, when we continue, when we have more examples, when we solve the histogram, you will understand more. But try to repeat, to rewatch this video. And if you can, solve any example in order to understand.
Okay, Miss, got it.
okay.